Do you want to travel around the world, see amazing places and meet incredible people, all while making money? Well, today I'll share just what my girlfriend and I have done to do just that, but I'll also share the framework that you can use so that if you don't want to do the exact same things we did, you can basically apply this to any skill or interest that you might have. And if you stay around until the end, I'll be sharing how we stay at beautiful hotels for free to save a lot of money while we travel. Let's get into it. Now, you can of course get a remote job or do like local seasonal work to be able to travel while making money. But I want to focus on basically what you can do to start your own little business and do some freelance work and work up from there. This way, I haven't been bound to any set work schedule, and that just gives me an amazing freedom. So first we'll look at some examples and the things that we did to make money while traveling. So this is actually how we started out, or well, mostly my girlfriend Sally. Basically, you manage a brand or business's social media page or pages. We focused on Instagram, so we would create a strategy, create the content, the captions, and so on. Finding good clients here can be a bit difficult, but if you land just 1, 2, or 3 of these types of clients, you can actually be making some pretty good money while having a steady cash flow. We used sites like Fiverr and Upwork, but also Facebook groups were actually pretty good at finding these types of clients, and of course through our network. I guess this one is pretty self-explanatory, and I actually did this for a while also in the beginning because it wasn't actually that hard for me to learn it. But what I didn't like about making websites was that it was really a lot of like one-off clients. You get a client, they buy a website and they're gone. And you basically have to start the process all over, finding a new client, website, over again. So this is one of the main things that I've been doing, like photo and video work for brands and businesses. So when I'm home in Denmark, that could be working with local businesses, but I would also get paid to travel by working with travel brands. So think companies that need to showcase a destination or an experience, or brands that just want to show their products in use out and about in the world. Most brands do need a lot of content for their social media and in their marketing. And quite a lot of them are actually willing to pay decently for this content if it's great. So you do need to be able to actually make good content that provides value for the brand. One way I use to actually kind of find these brands to potentially work with is like through Instagram and Facebook. I just look at all the ads that I am served and screenshots the ones that I think I could potentially work with. This way I know they have a budget for, well, getting content created and marketing that content. I've also used ChatGPT to help me find brands. An example could be make a list of 20 European brands that sells hiking gear in Scandinavia. And then I just keep a list. I find a contact email, preferably someone who's in charge of the marketing, and then I send off my pitch. That's of course a very simplified version of this whole process, but I could expand on this whole thing in another video. Another one of my main things is video editing. I do this mostly for companies in Denmark, so they will send me the files and I can edit it from wherever. This is still one of my favorite ways to make money, as I just enjoy editing. Again, finding clients here can be tough, but usually the clients I work with end up needing my services like consistently over a longer period of time. I could be editing longer form content, so think like interviews or business videos or even YouTube videos, but also short form videos, so think texting and adding effects and everything. So my girlfriend Sally doesn't really do the social media management anymore. Over the years her skills have improved a lot, and now she works more like one-on-one with small business owners on how they can improve their social media and use it to sell more. Basically some kind of social media coaching or consulting or whatever you want to call it. So through this whole process that we have been through over the past couple of years, we've shared just our story and some of our work on social media. And in turn, we use our social media to get more clients in our businesses. So let's say you make websites. You can use your social media to share your story, show your work, and show some behind the scenes and get a bit more personal as well. Of course, all of this will depend a bit on what exactly you do, what you want to post about, and who will follow you. But you can then use your social media to find new clients to build websites for. Or you could turn a bit more educational and help people who want to do the same thing as you. So keeping with the building websites example, you can keep doing just that. Find a new client, build a website. Find a client, build a website. But if you build more income streams like selling ebooks or teaching or coaching others on how to learn how to build websites or market and sell their services, that can perhaps help you be a bit more picky, so you can choose only to say yes to the bigger and better website creation jobs. And I would definitely recommend digital products. So think ebooks, guides, online courses, or coaching, and the list goes on. I think a common misconception here is that you need a lot of followers to actually do this. But that's not really true. You don't need a lot of followers, you just need the right followers. Of course, more of the right followers will help you. But for example, one of our accounts has like 2,000 followers, but because they are the right audience, there are just a lot of potential buyers there. So think about, what can you help other people with? What problem can you solve? Can you help them get to where you are now? And then create some kind of digital product around that. Okay, but maybe you don't want to make websites or edit video, or maybe you just have no clue what you actually could do, or don't think you have any of the needed skills. Well, let's take a look at how I would approach this. So first, you find a skill. What I recommend is to find a skill, preferably one you can do remote and where you can start getting paid freelance work in the not so distant future. There are a lot of skills and in turn work that you can do where if you put your head down and really get into it and learn it, you could realistically start getting paid within a few months to a year. So here are just a few more ideas beyond the ones I have mentioned already. You could teach a language, you could learn to code, can do freelance writing, learn SEO, or maybe some graphic design. And if you're really unsure about what you want to do or what you want to learn, just Google around to find even more examples and maybe try out a few different things. Like I tried making websites and later on I figured that was not for me. So when you have decided on what you want to do, you then go all in on learning this one skill. And at the same time, you could take posting on your social media a bit serious and treat it a bit more like a business. You post often, you make relevant posts, you show up on your stories, and you just share your story and your progress and what you learn. Then when you get like reasonably skilled in whatever you are learning, you can start to look to get paid work. And I mean, you could just stop here, do freelance work and travel. And then of course, as you get better and better, increase your prices. But I assume that you're trying to get a bit away from that 9 to 5, trading your time for money lifestyle, which is why I recommend you taking these next steps as well. If you've been sharing some great and relatable content on social media, maybe you have started to build a small audience at this point. Now the first thing you need to do is start an email list. In the long term, this will be massive for you. Set up a small, nice freebie. So a freebie is basically just some kind of free digital product that the person can get in exchange for you getting their email address. If we go with the making websites example, you can make a PDF guide with a collection of all the best resources that you used when you learned how to build websites. And then you send out some newsletters, share some tips or some stories, some wins, some losses. And yeah, that's when you can start looking into selling your own products. And they don't have to be like massive courses or anything. In fact, I would probably recommend not starting out trying to sell a massive course or anything like that. Keep it smaller and more simple. So like PDFs, ebooks, guides, doing coaching, consulting, helping people one-on-one. And look, you don't have to be the best at making websites in the whole world to do this. In fact, people often learn from other people who are just like a step or two ahead of them in the process. So if you have recently just taken the steps, living full time, making websites for others, you are very relatable to someone who is just starting out compared to someone who has been doing it for 20 years, because you have just gone through the exact same things and struggles as that person is going through now. And if these people have followed you on your social media through this period, they know it's possible to achieve this because, I mean, you have just gone through it and you have showed them the whole process. And if they like you as a person as well, there's a good chance that they will buy your guide instead of the hundreds of others there are out there online. Alright, here's that little bonus about how we stay at awesome hotels for free to save a lot of money while we travel. It's basically back to the content creation point that I mentioned earlier. We create content for the hotel and we get to stay for free. Now, compared to like other brands who will pay for this content, hotels are usually not that inclined to do so. Likely because like their stays can be worth quite a lot, but also that there are just so many people who want to create content for them in exchange for a free stay. So they just don't really need to pay to get this content. But we like to do it when we see that the value that we provide for the hotel is equal to what we get in return, so the value of the stay. And it's been a great way for us to save a lot of money and to stay at some very unique places that we probably otherwise would never have visited. Now, to get these stays, we find the hotels we'd love to work with, we have built a strong portfolio, and then pitch the hotels. Very similar to how we do with the brands. And if you want to look into this, I have some free pitching templates for hotels that you can download for free down in the description that you can use as a start or a baseline. And look, in general, travel doesn't have to be expensive. I think we spend a lot less money when we travel. We usually stay in cheaper places, away from the hotspots, and rent for maybe a month or two at a time. Or we work with them. We avoid peak season and we cook our own food and we just buy less stuff when on the road, all while making money at the same time. Because don't get me wrong, we aren't getting super rich from doing all of this, but everything combined is allowing us to travel full time or whenever we want and work with things that we actually like doing. Now, if you found any value in this video, consider subscribing, as I'll be posting a lot more videos about travel, becoming a digital nomad, and videos just like this one. And I did actually travel full time for quite a while, and you can watch this video right here if you want to hear more about what full-time travel is actually like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.